Hi friends, good morning everybody. Hope I'm clearly visible and audible. Briefly about me, I'm Siddhi Bangard and I have 3 years of teaching experience, appeared for 4 mains and interview and also appeared for RBI grade B, prelims and mains, qualified all the MBA exams and finally did my MBA in HR from XLRI Jamshedpur. So folks, at Unacademy, you get daily live classes, live tests and quizzes, and obviously notes after each class. Our courses are structured as per the UPSC syllabus, strictly as per the UPSC syllabus. And with one subscription of Unacademy, you get access or unlimited access rather to all our more than 200 courses, which can be either live, recorded or upcoming. You get access to all of those with just one subscription under the UPSC CSE category. And we also have the Unacademy Iconic program. It's a unique program both for the freshers as well as those who are repeat aspirants, so that both of them can get the correct way to the civil services. Why? Because under this program, you are also given a personal coach who will be throughout there during your UPSC journey. He will help you know the exam better, help you choose the option, help you understand GS and current affairs, prepare answer writing, prepare a study schedule, and finally prepare you to fill a DAF, and also help you personality develop for the interviews. So he will be there throughout the journey, right from the prelims till the interview stage, till you make it to the final list or the final merit list, as we say. So just like there is two plans from a single telecom operator. Our plus plan is uh, uh, is around like this. So the cost is a little less, but the benefits are also a little less. Nonetheless, it's one of the most best-selling programs that we have. However, the iconic program is like this special program where there is not just one thing, you get a bunch host of other things. I mean, you'll just forget the benefits that you get under our iconic program. Having a personal mentor besides you all the time, every time throughout your journey is more than a benefit that anyone can ask for. So, under our plus subscription, the cost reduces to less than 40,000 if you use my code SP Siddhi, and for a 2-year subscription under plus, the cost reduces to less than 58,000 if you use the code SP Siddhi. Under the iconic, for a 2-year course, the course fee is less than 1 lakh rupees or around 89,000 if you use my code SP Siddhi, because you get a 10% off directly. And for a 1-year program under the iconic, your course fee reduces to less than 58,000. So imagine, in 58,000 you not only get all the benefits of plus a personal mentor who will be there for the entire year with you, guiding you in your UPSC journey. So I think this is one of the best programs that we have apart from plus. And if you use my code SP Siddhi, the cost reduces to less than 57,600. So choose wisely, choose Unacademy and choose iconic. Already you're being on the Unacademy channel, you have chosen Unacademy. Now it's the time to choose iconic. With that, folks, this is my science and technology course, which is already there on Unacademy. And I also take the IR series. So the session will be today at 8:30 p.m. Indo-Pakistan part 2. With that, folks, the ground rules for today's session are, so before we proceed, good evening to everybody. Yes, sorry, good morning to everybody. I'm so sorry. All right, we'll start. Uh, 20 seconds to read the question and 30 seconds to answer it. All right, there you go. So some of the ground rules are, please feel free to be wrong here, because being wrong is important, because when you be wrong, you understand your mistakes, you understand where you succeed, you understand both your weak areas and success areas. So feel free to be wrong here. I don't ask you to score maximum. I ask you to score minimum so that you can see what are your weak areas. Don't be sad if you make mistakes, and remember both your mistakes and successes. So mistakes so that you don't replicate them, and success so that you can replicate it. 20 seconds to 30 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer, and enjoy. It's a morning class. Start your day from enjoyment and the rest of the day will follow. So believe that you will improve each day, and you surely will. With that, this is a very happy picture that I show to all my students. So I hope that the day and as well as the year ends happily for everybody. With that, first question on your screens. 20 seconds to read it and another 30 seconds to answer it. It's a very easy one. There is a color coding here. Good morning, everybody. There's a color coding here. So the green stands for easy, the amber stands for medium, and the red stands for hard. It's like the traffic signal only. Okay, guys, your time starts now. In the meanwhile, I'll have a cup of coffee. No, Aditya, it's actually Big Bang Theory. It's not Friends. All right, folks. Up till now, I have only. Okay, I got my top three, guys. Naveen, Amit, and Sivaranjani. The correct answer is C. Yes, the one thing, whoever that is, it's not B, it is C. Now, the one thing changed his answer. So, remember that in the exam, you will not be able to change the answer because you will be marking it with a pen. Alright? Now, a lot of people have got it correct. Prathama, it's not D, it's C. ML Johnson, Gorle Naveen Kumar, Varun, it's C. So, guys, this HOPE mission, actually, it was launched just day before yesterday. It's a mission by the UAE. And it was launched by Japan in their own shuttlecraft. Now, in their own satellite, sorry. So, the Perseverance is a Mars rover which has been made by Jet Propulsion Laboratory. It's in California. And it's a NASA's 2020 mission. The interior exploration using seismic investigations, geodesy and heat transport, or the InSight mission, it's actually a robotic lander which will go and do seismic investigations on the surface of the Mars to actually understand Mars quakes. Just like there are earthquakes, there are Mars quakes, and by that it will help us understand about Mars in a better manner. It is again by NASA. And the third one, the HOPE mission, it was recently launched, I think 22nd or 23rd, and it will also study the thin atmosphere of Mars, and it's a Mars orbiter spacecraft just like our mission MOM or Mars orbiter mission. So the United Arab Emirates has sent a similar mission with the help of Japan in recent July or just 2-3 days ago. Yes? Yes, you're right, Aditya. In fact, it is trying to be trying to stay ahead of the curve, and that's why it's the first one to actually do that. With that, let's move on to the second one, folks. And 20 seconds to read it and 30 seconds to answer. This one is a little big, so take your time. Okay, guys, there you start. Amit, was that not too quick? Read the question again. Because it can directly be done by elimination. So yes, guys, I got my top three. That's Bala Pranita, Savan, very good performance, and Golden Naveen Kumar. Three of these are my top three. Alright, those who have answered D, it is not correct. Read it again. The second one says the Act does not allow for the reappointment of members of the NHRC and the State Human Rights Commissions. It does allow. It is not allow, it does allow. Why should it not allow? There is no reason it should not allow for their non-reappointment. So it looks like a very aberration kind of thing. That's why option number 2 is wrong. And if option number 2 is wrong, certainly option A is out of question, option B is out of question, and option D is out of question. So the correct answer is option C. Yes, this entire option looks a little fishy. The other change that has been recently done is that yes, the tenure of the chairpersons has been reduced to 3 years from the earlier 5 years. These are the recent changes which have been done. And of course, so previously only a chief justice of that state could have been the chairperson of the State Human Rights Commission. Now the rules have been relaxed a bit. It can be either the chief justice or the judge of the High Court. They can be the chairperson of the State Human Rights Commission. Am I clear? Okay, the one thing, I think I need to have a fifth option here. No idea. Good, I'll add that from the next time. All right. Okay, chalo. Yes, Rosie, it is actually C. It is not D. Everybody got it? Here, clear? Chalo. Next question on your screens. 10 seconds to read it and 30 seconds to answer. It's a very easy one, but this report is an important one, so we'll just discuss it briefly. Okay, guys, your time starts now. No, not skip, Aditya. I think no idea looks better. In fact, I'll do that experiment with you guys, which our professor at Excel used to do with us. I don't know. I'm better than the rest. This is all what you have to ask me. It's so boring. Let me please get out of the class. That used to be his options. Okay, guys, the time's up. Okay. Aditya, is it option E, skip, for this question? Okay. So the correct, I got my top three. Rosie, Naveen, and Ganga Gopi. Yes, the correct answer is UN Population Fund. I put UNDP purposely, but it is not under UNDP. It is under UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund. And UNESCO, obviously it cannot be because it's related to heritage. Population Action International, what is it? I don't know, right? So it was the State of the World Population Report. It was released recently, I think either it's June or July 2020. So it's July 1, 2020. It was in the Hindu. So it was titled, why is this report important? The report was titled Against My Will. So it's important whenever you want to write about women empowerment or the state of women. This report is completely dedicated to this. One of the key findings of this report is that in India, the situation of sex ratio, or in India, the state of the missing girls. Do you guys know about the missing girls concept? That a lot of females are killed either due to female infanticide or female feticide, sex selection processes. So in India, the situation has just got worse. In fact, 1 in 3 girls, or 1/3 of the girls globally missing due to sex selection, both prenatal or postnatal, that means before birth or after birth, are from India, and that is 46, a staggering 46 million population of women out of 142 women million are missing just from India itself. You can understand the importance, the gravity of the issue. Yes, and in fact, the figure shows that the number of missing women has more than doubled over the past 50 years. I mean, come on, we're moving into the space age. We had people like Kalpana Chawla going into the space. We have people becoming presidents, and there it is in India and in China combined. They are doubling the women whom we have lost due to sex selection practices. So guys, please also keep in mind the PCPNDT act. It is a very, very important act. Whenever you go for a sonography or ultrasound, whenever you visit the clinics for getting any ultrasound or sonography done, you will always see this, that the PCPNDT act is in practice. We do not do any sex selection here. It is punishable by law. There is a jail term and there is also a fine attached to it. Yes? Okay. Now, so it has doubled from 61 million to it has become 142 million, and UN A population fund is actually previously known as United Nations Fund for Population Activities, or UNFPA. All right, let's move on to our next question. It's a little bit difficult one, that's why I've given it the medium rating. So 15 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Rosie, actually not even just in Haryana, it's a rampant practice in my state, in Rajasthan. In fact, to tell you the truth, women were killed by feeding them sugar over and over, or they used to be drowned in sugar after their birth. So that the sugar used to get inside the child's mouth, it used to stuff itself from sugar, and it used to die from asphyxiation. So it's that bad. Yes. Okay, guys, your time starts now. Uh-oh. Do you guys have any idea about state duties? Okay. As of now, I only got one correct answer here. So I'll wait for 5 more seconds. Two correct answers here. Okay, folks, it's a little bit difficult, so it's okay. Nobody really reads about these. So there was a recent change in the law regarding stamp duties, which I will discuss. The correct answer is A actually. The center can and does levy stamp duty. In fact, this is interesting because stamp duties are differently mentioned under as two items. One as item number 93 in the union list of the 7th schedule, and item number 61 of the state list under the 7th schedule. Yes, I have both of them here, and now I will also tell you what the changes in the law have been. All right. Uh, what happened? The one thing, and Rosie, no regarding what? Okay. So the correct people, the people who answered it correctly: Amit, Gorle Naveen Kumar, Anima Gun, I don't know who that is. Can you please use your normal names? It will be easy for us to converse. Yes, I like to converse with my students. Sivranjani, you've done it correct. Emil Johnson has done it correct. Soman, very good. Correct. I don't understand your queries, the one thing, and Rosie. And Arun Yadav, it's not C. It is actually A only. Now, the stamp duties actually can be fixed. They vary from state governments to state governments. Stamp duties are paid basically when you are dealing with real estate. You want to register your property. So have you seen those stamp papers? And they were in Hindi movies, it was often used. I will write it on the stamp paper and give it to you. You will not succeed in this or that. It was often the hero telling the villain. Now the things have reversed. Now the villains are more handsome. But it used to happen in the Hindi movies a lot. And do you remember those story plots where they used to sign the papers just by mistrust? They did not check and they used to sign the papers. They used to be forced to sign the papers. Then you could see the national emblem on those sheet of paper. Here was the national emblem, and something in rupee was drawn here, and there was the entire contract. So that is a stamp paper. So basically the amount that is written on the paper is the duty that you pay to the government. All right. So from July 1, it's okay, Rosie, it is okay. From July 1, all the shares and mutual fund purchases or any transfer of security means mutual fund units, will attract a stamp duty. That's why this thing was in news, so it's important. Also, it's one of government's, actually UPSC's favorite question to ask about the distribution of finances and which subject is in which list. So we'll do one more question on that. All right. Stamp duty is usually a tax that is imposed by the government on the transfer of ownership of real estate or property. For example, if my parents own land and they decide to transfer it to me because I'm not earning enough right now, so just to make me secure, so if they transfer it to me, it will get a tax imposed that will be called the stamp duty tax. It is payable under section 3. You don't need to remember the section, but it is payable under the Indian Stamp Act of 1899. Does this ring a bell? Actually, it's a very old tax just to ramp up the revenue by the British. So we are still following most of the rules during from the British era time. So it is one of those. All right. Also, The stamp duty is also there when you get your house or property at the time of registration. Now you have to register your house or property at the market rates, which has actually increased the cost of registration of house or property. Yes, land registry. So because Indian Stamp Act of 1899, because it is the Indian Stamp or Act of 1899. That's why I've written it in the question. Yes, you're right. You're right, Amit. I am absolutely agreeing with you. I just see, we all recognize those yellow or green papers. That's why I just took its name. You're right. Also, the levy of stamp duty is a state subject and the rates of stamp duty vary from state to state. However, actually, when you see it, under Article 246 of the Constitution, which is regarding the 7th schedule, yes, then entry 91 of the list 1 or the union list and entry 63 of the state list, they both have the rates of stamp duty listed. So for certain stamp duty like bills of exchange, checks, promissory notes, bills of lading, letters of credit, policies of insurance, or the MF funds that we are talking about, it is the center which will levy the tax. For others which are not mentioned, or for others except for all others except for those mentioned under list 1, the state government is responsible. So that is why I was talking about it here. The center is also empowered to levy stamp duty on specified instruments, as I've just talked, entry 93. And under the Stamp Acts, central as well as state acts, they specify the rates of duty for different documents differently, and also the states have different sets of duties imposed. Is it clear? Yes, that's what. State government is actually, central government is actually can levy the duties. That's what it is about. It's actually both the list, Rosie. That's what I told here. It's under list 91 also, and it's under list, it's under the union list also, and it's under the state list also. So whatever is not covered under the union list falls under the state list. So under the union list, you actually have stamp duty on all the bills of exchange or any commercial activity. You pay the stamp duty to the central government. For all others, you pay the stamp duty to the state government. All right. Now is it clear? Okay, sure. Next question. It's an easy one. So 15 seconds just to think and 30 seconds to answer. And your time begins now. Okay, Naveen is very enthusiastic and I like that. Actually, let's take your time and ponder. Bala Pranita, brilliant performance. It's actually B. It is not C, guys, not 1 and 3. It is actually B. It is 2 and 3. I purposely did this question because now there are not 98 but 100 subjects under the union list. In fact, okay, so let me see who has answered it correctly. Sivranjani, Bala Pranita and Pobali. You three are the first ones to answer it correctly. Aditya, Pratima, Ganga Gopi, Varun, you have answered it correctly. Nishant Nayan has answered it correctly. Gorle, Emil Johnson, all have answered it correctly, but the rest have not answered it correctly. Srihari, you answered it correctly. Okay, so guys, I will share this link with you after the class. It is the RSTV link or the Rajya Sabha TV link for the 7th schedule. They have discussed the important subjects in detail. And as per this link only, as per this YouTube link only, there are 100 subjects as of now in the union list. All right, 61 under the state list and 52 under the concurrent list. Now, which is the article that actually governs it? So they are all in schedule 7. Everybody knows that. It is Article 246, which talks about Schedule 7 or the distribution of subjects. Yes, please remember the article and please remember the subject list. Now, the bone of contention or why I have included this question here is, originally there used to be 66 subjects in the state list, which have been now reduced to 61. So the states, whenever you talk about center-state relations, you can talk about this thing that even in the constitution, the subjects under the state list have been continuously decreasing. They are either increasing under the union list or they are increasing under the concurrent list, but they are surely decreasing under the state list. So that talks a lot about our federalism or our center-state relations. Now here is also a list of programs that you can watch from RSTV. I think it's a very, very informative channel. I will also watch it with you, and if I come across anything nice, I will be posting it in the Telegram channels. But these are few names of the programs that you can watch from there. It will give you a good insight about India. Is everybody clear? It's okay, Suman. It's okay. All right. Next question. 15 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. This is an easy one. Now you won't get confused, Suman. That's why I cleared it. And why will you not get confused? Because I've given you the logic. The numbers under the state list, they have decreased from 66 to 61. It is 52 for our concurrent list and 100 is an easy number to remember for our union list. Yes? Okay. There you go. Your time starts now. Oh my God, everybody is answering this correct. Very good. I already found my top 3, top 4, top 5, everybody. Okay. Naveen, Nishant, Amit, Pobali. The one thing, can you please tell me your name? What is your name? Gorle Naveen Kumar, Rosie, Varun, Kumkum, Jyoti Chaudhary. Oh, Jyoti, you're here? Very good. Sivranjani, all have done it correct. Yes, the correct answer is B. Bala Pranita, the correct answer is B. Yes? Yes, Amit, I know about you. You've stayed in the Northeast, so you must be knowing it. Very good, Aditya. Guys, the inner light permit is actually required for entry into Mizoram. It is required. It is not required. No, it is required. And there are provisions in the 6th schedule that apply to the state of Mizoram. Can anybody tell me what is the article number under constitution? And yes, Mizoram does share its border with the state of Tripura, Assam and Manipur. I will show it to you everything on the map. Oh, I'm so sorry, Deepika. All right. So only Ganga and Bala Pranita got it wrong. What about the others? Why are you not answering me? Or are you giving it a pass? Okay, Suman after much thought said, okay, now everything has been answered. Ma'am has already told me the answer. Now I can say, ma'am, it is B. Don't do that. Answer on time. All right. Okay, guys. So this was in news recently because Mizoram celebrated the 34th anniversary of Miso Peace Accord very recently on July 2020. Actually, the accord was signed on June 30th back in 1986, post which Mizoram was granted statehood in 1987, and Article 244 Clause 2 actually provides for the provisions of 6th schedule to apply to the tribal areas in state of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Yes, you can remember it by this mnemonic TAM. All the tribal areas, they attract the provisions of the 6th schedule. So what are the states which attract this? Tripura, Assam, Mizoram and Meghalaya. You can put it tummy also. Now, the inner line permit, where is it? So it is in Arunachal. We all know about it. If you have to go to Tawang, you have to take an inner line permit. Manipur, yes. Nagaland, yes. And Mizoram is the last one to actually have an inner line permit. Also, I will show it to you how is Mizoram bound. So this state, can you see here, our focus area. So it's better that you remember the map of these seven sisters. Who forms boundary with whom, what are their international boundaries, etc. So Mizoram is bound by Bangladesh here on the left side, and on the right side it is bound by Myanmar. So it is surrounded by two countries. Yes? Sorry, Nagaland what, Rosie? Nagaland is here. Up here is Nagaland. Oh, it's okay. Is it better? Because actually it was raining in my city in the morning, but I think the network is better at my end because I can still see my video. Okay. Aditya was right. It's Article 371G in the Constitution of India. Can anybody tell me what part is it of the Constitution? So as per Article 371G, the state of Mizoram will be free from the normal central laws or the act of precedence in light of their religious or social practices, their customary laws, or the administration of civil and criminal justice that involve decisions according to Miso customary law, and the ownership and transfer of land. Also, it lists out that the legislative assembly members of state of Mizoram shall not consist of less than 40 members. Yes, it's under the special provisions. What is the part? It's part number 21. Since it's a special provision, there are 22 parts in the Constitution. Yes? Why am I also asking you to remember the parts? Because, see, when we do it again and again, you will remember things better. So, since special provisions come just in the later part of the Constitution, they are in the part number 21. So, all the special provisions, whether it be it about Kashmir or Assam or Maharashtra, Gujarat, anything, they are under part number 21. All right. Next question on your screen, folks. 15 seconds to read it and another 30 seconds to answer it. Okay, your time starts now. Okay, I already got two correct answers. Let me see. Who else have I got? Everybody answered correctly. Oh my gosh. Was it that easy? Yes. It's actually A. India is not a founder member. It joined recently. It was in news. All right. So, can anybody tell me the full form of IPBES? Yes. So basically, it's another organization that has been made along the lines of IPCC or Inter-Governmental Panel for Climate Change. IPBES was also in news because they have recently released their first status report on climate change, and IPCC will be releasing its fifth status report on climate change. So they are similar organizations. They report on the as and now of climate change and what the government should do to actually counter climate change. All right. So most of you got it correct. Amit, you got it incorrect. Kumkum said, let me rethink. I don't care about the question. Yes, Varun, you're right. It's only one. Pratima got it correct. Shivranjani got it correct. Yes, Nigeria joined recently. Very good, Naveen. You have been reading newspapers of late. Extremely good. So, the IPBS is Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. So, Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform, P here stands for platform, Intergovernmental Platform for Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. It was formed in 2012, that means just recently, 8 years ago. It's a platform, it is active, and its headquarters are in Bonn, Germany. Yes? So recently, Nigeria actually joined it. There are as of now 28 signatories, including 17 European ones only. So Europe is very, very high and actually analyzing why the pollinators, the bees or the other insects that actually lead to pollination are declining. So that's an important one. It's a very rare thing that we have some assessment on the pollinators or pollination, because it is very inherent to our food security. And it was a part of the Down to Earth magazine. And yes, Naveen is right. Nigeria actually became the fourth African nation to join the global coalition of pollinators. Is that okay? Everybody sorted here? Okay. Sure. Next question on your screens. It's an easy one, very easy one, a little bit confusing. So 10 seconds to read it and 30 seconds to answer. Okay, guys, your time starts now. Guys, this shouldn't get incorrect, right? Okay, as of now, I have not received a single correct answer. Why is that? Guys, the correct answer is actually D. Canada is included in the Ring of Fire. I will show you why. Can you see this Ring of Fire? It actually passes through this entire area in North America. So all these countries which I've mentioned here, New Zealand, Japan, Chile, Canada, they are all the part of Ring of Fire. All right. So Varun, Srihari and Prashant, they got it correctly. Yes, I know, Amit. That's why I kept it here. All right. Clear? Can you see it in the photo now? They're all in the Ring of Fire. They're all trenched areas. And they're all areas where there is a lot of plate collision going on. So all these countries are a part of Ring of Fire. Yes? Clear? Okay. Next question on your screens. And I will start off after 10 seconds. 10 seconds to read the question and 30 seconds to answer it. Yes, 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 Rosie, I know. Okay, your time starts now. Okay. Coming to that, Naveen, I think you might want to rethink. Okay, guys, I have just got one correct answer up till now. So it's Amit who answered it correctly first. And okay, now I've also got Deepika, Pratima answering it correctly. So the first three are Amit, Deepika, Pratima. Suman, you also answered it correctly. Kumkum, you also did it. And Simranjini, you also did it. Jyoti, you are right. Srihari, you are right. And the rest, unfortunately, are not right. All the three are actually import duties. I will explain you one by one. The countervailing duty, safeguard duty, or the anti-dumping duty, most of you must be knowing. It was recently imposed by the US on India and South Korea for steel. Yes, I will also talk about all these three. So there are actually import duties are of four types. So you generally have a very basic import duty so that you are not flooded with imported goods. Additional customs duty, countervailing duty or additional duty of customs, or the anti-dumping duty or the safeguard duty, they are one and the same thing. Now, countervailing duty is actually imposed when, for example, the other country, say for example it is USA, Now, USA exports wheat to India. Say, let's just assume. It gives a huge subsidy towards farmers on the farming equipment, etc., etc., etc. India comes to know about it because if it gives subsidy, it will be very cheap to export it to India. So, India imposes an equivalent amount of duty to get the prices at the same level. This is called the countervailing duty. Alright. So, this is the first type of duty that we impose on imported goods. Let's come on to the next part. Under the next part, we have the safeguard duty. So it is actually done so that there is no harm caused to the domestic industries of India. It is actually, for example, if the domestic manufacturers start complaining, for example, recently with the solar photovoltaic panels, yes. So our domestic industry wanted that we should stop importing them from China. However, the other industrialists said that it is way cheaper to actually import it from China and it will benefit our solar industry. So then the government finally allowed it. Otherwise, we will have a safeguard duty in place so that our domestic manufacturers of photovoltaic cells or panels will be protected. And the last one is the anti-dumping duty. So it is, for example, if in India, the cost of producing, say, cotton is 200 rupees, and if we export it to USA for say 100 rupees, then we are actually exporting it very cheaply. That means their domestic industry is going to die. So anti-dumping duty is imposed when the exporting nation exports the goods at prices lesser than the manufacturing cost, so that it floods the market of the importing country. Then you have an anti-dumping duty on it. So that is why USA recently imposed an anti-dumping duty on South Korea and India on its steel exports. Yes, and anti-dumping is not considered to be an unfair trade mechanism. It is completely a fair trade mechanism which is recognized by the World Trade Organization agreement. So keep in mind that it is not an unfair treatment. It is a fair treatment. Any nation is permitted to protect its domestic industries. All right. Okay. Next question on your screen, folks. Understood? Everybody? I'm not getting any response. Are you people alive? Or am I too boring that you died midway? World Trade Organization, Rosie. Okay, guys. 5 more seconds to read this and then we'll start with the buzzer. Yes, I will do that. Varun, I will explain that again. Can we first do this question and then I'll come back? It's okay, Srihari. No, I was just kidding. I'm like, guys, don't be bored. It's morning. And in the morning to actually study is again very, very boring. But let's proceed. So your time starts now. Varun, I will explain you anti-dumping duty once more. Post this question. All right? Zinda hai Deepika. Oh, that reminds me of that movie Zinda. Sanjay Dutt. Yes. And John Abraham. Okay. Naveen has already answered me. Okay. Now guys, this question can be directly done by elimination. How? Jyoti, Kumkum. So the people who got it correct are Naveen. Very good performance, Naveen. You have been performing really well. Very happy for you. Suman, you have also performed really well. You're correct. And Pobali, you're correct. Now guys, this one actually can be done directly by elimination. See, if you are having any convention or any treaty which is at the level of United Nations, right? That means it will have a cross-border nature. So to say that this treaty or convention does not have a cross-border nature of corruption is actually very counterintuitive to actually have it in the United Nations at the first place. Why would you have something which is not intergovernmental at the United Nations platform? Right? It doesn't make sense. So that's why option 3 is wrong. That means option C can be culled out, option B can be culled out, option D can be culled out, which actually gives us only option A. So this can be done directly by elimination. Yes? Okay. Now, apart from that, yes, the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, this is the only treaty, yes, at this platform which is legally binding in nature. The rest of them are, you do not legally bind, but when you commit to something at an international level, nations usually follow through. But this one is legally binding on everyone because it deals with the very, very serious issue of corruption, which is rampant all across the world. So they want to deal with it together, and also corruption is linked to organized crimes and worse things. So that's why it's a very, very important issue, and hence it is legally binding in nature. So it's easy to remember. And of course, UN Office on Drugs and Crime actually serves as the secretariat for the UNCSE or United Nations Convention Against Corruption. Now guys, if you see my phone on the screen, it's because actually I try to keep a track of your chat on my phone. So don't think ma'am is reading from here and reciting here. No, ma'am is only looking at you on the screen. All right. Okay. Chalo. So actually this entire treaty came up in the General Assembly in October 2003 and finally entered into force in 2005. So it's a very, very old treaty. And state parties or countries that have ratified the convention, they are expected to cooperate in criminal matters and help each other in investigations or proceedings in civil and administrative matters with regards to corruption. The rest of the points we have already covered, but the entire goal of this activity is that we want to strengthen international law enforcement and we want to strengthen the judicial cooperation between countries. Why? Because sometimes the crimes are transnational. For example, terrorism being a crime, that's why we have the FATF, yes, the Financial Action Task Force, or some other crimes, for example, organized crime, the gang wars, or you can say drug trafficking. They are all crimes which are transnational in nature. Not one nation can handle it. So they will all come under the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. It is legally binding. You can take the help of others to actually track the organized crime. Guys, do you remember that movie? I think it was Salman Khan's movie. Tiger Zinda Hai. Tiger is the name of the movie, I think. So they had shown this. And even in the movie War, actually War shows this brilliantly. When Hrithik Roshan and that guy, who's the other guy, Tiger Shroff, they go together to fight in Bulgaria, the organized crime mafia, right? So they all come under the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. So you can remember the war movie for it. Okay? Now let's move on to the next one. 10 seconds to read it and 30 seconds to answer it. Srihari, are there network issues here also on YouTube? I suppose they shouldn't be here. Your time starts now, folks. Guys, will you be okay with me using a poll here? The only problem with that poll is that I will have to toggle between the screens a lot. So I don't know how that experience will be, but we can use that. Maybe. Okay, I haven't received any answers yet. Okay, Pratima is the first one to answer. Who else? Okay, guys, I'll just wait. Uh-huh. Okay. Guys, actually, only Pobali has got it correct as of now. So, extremely well done, Pobali. You're the first one to get it correct. Now, Golde Naveen Kumar has got it correct. So, only two people have got it correct, actually. It's actually National Common Mobility Card. Swikar and Swagat both are related to National Common Mobility Card. What is this? So, it's kind of a automatic fare collection system. Do you know about the FASTag? Yes, which will be attached to cars so that the toll deduction can happen. This is also comes under the automatic fare collection system at the toll gates and others. It is based on the one nation, one card model. So they have developed a system for transportation consisting of Swikar or Swachalit Kiraya. You will be directly deducted the payment. So it is very helpful on the metros or the bus stations, but especially for the metros and for the Mumbai locals or the local trains. Automatic fed. Guys, do you remember in a lot of movies it's actually seen they carry this one card with them. In fact, in Mumbai locals also, you are given a one-time pass. So you can have either a first AC pass or a normal class pass. So you can directly show it to them. But there's no automatic fare deduction. You pay it in a lump sum amount. But with these kinds of cards, Whenever you go, you can just swipe them and the payment will be deducted from your card. So it's like the fastech technology for the cars. Right now it will be used by the humans to actually move to and fro. So there are two: svikar, which is swachalit kiraya. Kiraya here means fare or rent, and swagat, which is swachalit gate. For example, if you have to cross certain gates like at the metro stations, you can use these cards with you. Yes, yes, you're right. Oh, Varun, you knew about it? Very good. In fact, I would be glad if such a system existed, because at the Mumbai stations, I wasted a lot of time collecting those tickets, especially at the Andheri station. It's very, very crowded. So, from going to the metro to the normal rail station, or going from the rail station to the metro to actually go to the Versova beach used to be hell of a time. Okay. Yes, Ajmeru. But and for the national highways, it's actually the FASTag technology that you'll be using at the toll booths. All right. Next question on your screens. Guys, this one is an easy one. And there's a history behind question number 12. So we'll do that. So 15 seconds on your screen. And then 30 seconds to answer it. Why are there so less people in my class today? People sleeping or what? Okay, your time starts now. Uh-huh. Naveen answered the first. Very good. Naveen Kumar. Okay, guys, what are the other answers? Okay, as of now, I've only got, okay, now I have got my top four here already. Yes, guys, it is question, it's actually B. States can move directly to the Supreme Court in matters of dispute with center. That's Article 131 for you. Actually, Article 131 deals with the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. All right. It was recently invoked by the Kerala government during the CAA protest. Actually, Kerala government directly went to the Supreme Court in matter of dispute with the center. As per the Kerala government, the CAA was actually against the Muslims, as they thought. So that's why they went. They said it's demeaning and it's degrading a lot of people in our society, and they do not agree with the center on the CAA, and hence Article 131 was invoked by the Kerala government. Do you guys remember it? So, okay. Rosie, Suman, Golden Naveen Kumar, Varun Mishra, Sivranjani, you've answered me correctly. Who is Universe Boss? You've also answered it correctly, but I need to know your name. The rest, Sugan Siva, Bala Pranita, Pratima Sonavane, it's not correct. The C is not the answer. B is the answer. Now, what comes in the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court? So, any dispute which is between the center and one or more states, any dispute which is between two or more states, or any dispute which is between government of India and one state on one side, or a couple of states on one side and the other states on one side. So, it is center plus states versus states, or state versus states, or center versus states. All the three possibilities are covered under Article 131 of the Constitution. Yes, clear? Okay, Chandan, great. Next question on your screen, folks. It's a little longer to read. So 15 seconds to read and 30 seconds to answer. Okay, your time starts now. Naveen Kumar is too quick. Good performance, Naveen Kumar. Where is Naveen God? Has he left? Or is he still here? Naveen Gaur, I don't see your answers anymore. You're here? Good. No, I remember names of everybody. So don't think ma'am doesn't know. Ma'am knows everything. She remembers the name of each of her students if you're there in a class. If she sees you once, she remembers you. She's a stalker that way. Okay, jokes apart. Yes, guys, actually, the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. So D is correct. This was an easy one, just to give you some heads up. Everybody got it correct. So I'm not explaining it here. Can we move on to the next one? Or does anybody need explanation of this? The Indian secularism? Ganga, you need an explanation? Because Ganga and Kumkum, you got it incorrect. It's actually D. The objective behind Indian constitution that India state be secular is that no religious community gets to dominate the another one. What is happening in the country recently is not what we envisaged when we were writing down the constitution. We also envisaged that the state does not enforce a particular religion, nor does it actually interfere in what kind of religion people are following. The state or the governance is completely separate from the religion. And finally, the state does not take away any religious freedom from the individual. So that these are the three mandates which are a part of the Indian secularism. Understood? Okay. Let's move on. Another easy one. It's about the governor, so it should be very easy to do. 10 seconds to read it and 30 seconds to answer it. There you go. Naveen Kumar has a very good reading speed. Very good, Naveen Kumar. It will really help you in the exam and in the rest of the exams and in the rest of your life. You really need to have a good reading speed. All right? Okay, guys. Actually, the answer is D. So, who got it correct for the first time? It's actually Varun who got it correct. All right? The answer is D. So, Amit, Varun, and Ganga Gopi, three of them got it correct. Varun answered D and then said, I don't know. So, Varun, should I cancel your answer? Kumkum and Pratima? No. The correct answer is actually D. None of these actually apply. The governor is actually not subordinate to the central government. At least this is not what our constitution says. So, this is not correct. The governor of a particular state should not belong to that state. It is not mentioned in the constitution, but it is a normal convention that the governor should be an outsider person so that he does not meddle with the internal politics of the state. Third, again, it's a convention. It is followed by convention that usually the president tries to consult the chief minister of the particular state before appointing the governor of that state. So that's again a convention. So they are not mentioned in the constitution. The 2 and 3 are conventions. The first is not mentioned, though it is actually like that. So in practice, it is like that, but it is not mentioned. So the answer is none. It's okay, Varun. Yes, you're right, Sivranjani. It's actually under the president. So that's what there in the constitution is. But it is never in the constitution that you are subordinate to the central government. It's just indirectly because the president is bound to the cabinet or the council of ministers, not the cabinet, sorry. It's bound to the council of ministers. So under president is actually responsible to the central government. And that is why the office indirectly comes under the ambit of the central government. They play as they like, which is a major chunk of a center-state relations. Okay, so what are the other things that are related to governor? So he actually has to be, as per the constitution, what is there? He should be a citizen of India and he should have completed 35 years of age. However, the convention suggests that he should be free from the domestic politics of the state, so that he should usually be an outsider, and the president should usually consult the chief minister when you have a governor. However, this is actually violated in a lot of cases. For example, the recent Puducherry crisis that is going on. Okay. Yes, yes, you're right, Varun. That's what I said. Okay. Chalo. Next. This is a hard one, but still I'll give you 30 seconds because it's easy to read. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Yes, Varun, he is above any state government. They don't come under any CM or anything. But you do actually go and read that Madras High Court and the Supreme Court judgment on the Puducherry government. They said both the lieutenant governors and the CMs need to work together. And similarly is the case for state government also. Whatever the machinery of the government, they need to work together for the betterment of the people. Okay. Okay, guys. The correct answer here, yes, Naveen. It's actually not this. So only Deepika and Amit got it correct. It's actually A. It's Adi Shankaracharya. So this one is relatively not a news. It was actually a PIB release. So our vice president, he released a book on the philosophy of India, Vivek Deepini. So then he mentioned about Prashnottar Ratnamalika. It's like what Socrates wrote. So Socrates discussed the entire philosophy in question and answers. So Adi Shankaracharya did something similar back in the 8th century. So the book is written in Sanskrit. I believe every one of you is familiar with Adi Shankaracharya. He is known to have spread Hinduism around the country, and he has set up mutts all around the country. Belur Mutt being one of them, where Vivekanand was there. Yes? Okay, so who answered it correctly? Deepika, Amit, Bala Pranita, Sivranjani, and Animagan. Okay, it was a blind guess. All right. So, guys, I'll share this link with you. It was on the AIR news. So, you'll have this. Okay, guys, this one again is easy. It's an easy read. So, I'm starting the time right now. Naveen Kumar, you were too late to answer that. All right. Okay, guys, it's not in Madhya Pradesh. It's in Maharashtra. Yes, most of you got it correct. Ganga Gopi, Naveen Gaur, Rosie, Amit, Suman, Varun, and Anima Gun. I don't know what your name is. Can you please tell me your name? Yes, Melghat Tiger Reserve was recently in news because the railways are trying to extend the railway line through this tiger reserve. Yes, it's the fourth largest tiger reserve in the country. A very beautiful one, albeit. So I will just show you. It was actually notified back in 1973-74 and it's a part of the Amravati district in Madhya Pradesh. Does Amravati ring a bell? It will also become the future capital of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, guys, there it is on the map of Maharashtra. It's on actually on the border of Maharashtra, the MTR or the Melghat Tiger Reserve. Yes, and this is how the Melghat Tiger Reserve actually looks like. It's actually bound by the river Tapti here on the northern front, and the Gawalgid range of the Satpura range. They also found the boundaries. The other two ranges are not being shown here, but the Tapti river you can see here, it passes through this forest reserve. All right. Yes, Pabali, it's bordering the Madhya Pradesh one. Okay, next question. It's okay, Ajara. 15 seconds to read this and 30 seconds to answer it. Not 15 actually. Take 10 seconds to read it and 15 seconds to 30 seconds to answer. If you get it correct, you get it correct. If you don't get it correct, you don't get it correct. but the answer is in the question, so you should get it correct. Okay, there you go. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I think Rosie got the hint already. Rosie and Bala Pranita both were listening to me, so they got the hint already. And so did Suman. What? Only the girls are listening to me? The guys are not listening to me, kya? See, CCUS. It's already in the question. Carbon Capture Utilization Storage, CCUS. So this was a recent virtual meeting between India and the US just before the so it's actually a part of the strategic partnership between US and India. So they decided they will not only participate for other climate change things, they will also participate in helping India build something which is related to capturing carbon, utilizing that captured carbon and storing that captured carbon. So it is CCUS technologies. All right. Now, this will actually be a collaborative program between US and India. So it is a part of the US-India Strategic Energy Partnership. It is from July 2020 only. This is a very, very recent news. You must have actually ignored it. I will share the Times of the India article with you. So where are US and India going to further collaborate in the research areas on transformational power generation? So that will be there. Okay. No, I did not give any hint, Naveen. The thing is, it was there in the question. So the hint was there in the question itself. That's why I said, read the question again. In fact, one time I'll recall when I was giving my geography mains exam, at that point of time, I was not aware that the ice caps or the entire polar region is actually called cryosphere, the polar region at the both poles. So I just knew cryo stood for cold. And the question was, so what should we do about a cryosphere, something related to climate change? So when I applied my brains, and the Hindi in the UPSC exam, you just can't read it. So I applied my brains and I said, cryo. The answer must be in the question. And then I recalled, okay, it's talking about the cold sphere. That means the polar region. So it's relating to climate change. So that was the question it was like. All right. Okay. Question number 18 on your screens. Guys, 18, 19 and 20. Only 30 seconds to go. It's a rapid fire round. So those who win this rapid fire round, those who have their names featured in the top 3, I will announce their names on the screen. So get it quick and get it correct. It's the rapid fire round. Question number 18, 19 and 20. Okay, who's giving me the correct answer? Okay. All right. Yes, Naveen is right. Naveen is the first one. Pobali second to answer it right. So I'm taking only the first 3. Amit third. Varun, you were a little late. Rangesh, you were a little late. Suman, you're correct. Pratima, you're correct. Deepika, Animagun, Sugand Siva, all are correct. It's actually A. The flue gas desulfurization technology is used to reduce air pollution from coal power plants. That is true. But the largest source of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere is not vehicular pollution. Can't you see the industries? So that was a straight giveaway. Vehicles are still lesser. The industries give up far much more sulfur dioxide and greater quantities. And with the kind of industrialization going on, of course, that becomes the obvious answer. So 2 is not correct. So both 1 and 2 is not there. And 1 looks correct, so neither 1 or 2 can be there. So 1 only is your correct option. Now, this is a part actually of the report by the NASA. again released in July by the NGO Greenpeace, which said India has more than 15% of all anthropogenic sulfur dioxide hotspots in the world. That was detected by the ozone monitoring instrument satellite. So that is why this entire thing was in news, because India featured among the top SO2 polluters in the world. All right. And also, why? Because the vast majority of plants in India actually lack flue gas desulfurization. Now, what is flue gas? It's actually a output or a byproduct or a waste product, as you can call, of the coal plant power technology. And India was found at the top position in emitting SO2. It has maximum number of hotspots of 15% of the anthropogenic sulfur dioxide production in the world. All right. And the largest source of SO2 is actually burning of fossil fuels in power plants and other industrial facilities. So if anybody asks you, you can tell that. What are the hotspots in India? Singrauli, Madhya Pradesh, Neyveli, Chennai, we already know about that, the lignite mine. Talcher and Jharsuguda in Odisha, Korba in Chhattisgarh, Kutch in Gujarat, and Ramagundam in Telangana, and Chandrapur and Koradi in Maharashtra. Okay? Yes, it's a byproduct. Okay, guys. Again, 30 seconds for you to answer. So let's see who makes it to the first three, fast three. Guys, I hope I'm clearly audible because I feel my voice is going hoarse. I think I didn't have enough sleep last night. Okay, where are my answers? Anybody? Okay. So guys, what happened? Yes. Have you got it correct? Okay, it's one only. It's actually not C, not both. So Golden Naveen Kumar is the first one to answer it correctly. All right. The second is Amit, and then Ganga Gopi. Yes. Who else is there? Yes, Varun. Bill must be passed from both the states, but it is actually governed by Article 107 to decide which bill lapses and which bill does not. Do you know what does Article 108 do? Article 108 is an important article of the Constitution, and so is Article 110. Do you guys remember that? Have you attended Siddharth sir's classes on Unacademy? So Article 108 is about the joint meeting of the Parliament, and Article 110 is about the money bill, right? Here the correct answer is one only. A bill originating in the Lok Sabha, all right, and pending in the Lok Sabha actually lapses, and a bill passed by the Lok Sabha but pending in the Rajya Sabha also lapses. It does not lapses, it also lapses. So how do we do that? Under article, yes, Sivranjani. Now, let's look at it here. So, a bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses, whether it is originating in the Lok Sabha or going to Rajya Sabha, it will lapse once the Lok Sabha is dissolved. A bill which has been passed by the Lok Sabha but pending in the Rajya Sabha also lapses. So the second option is not correct. It lapses. Alright, if it has been pending in the Rajya Sabha. A bill not passed by the two houses due to disagreement, and if the president has notified the holding of a joint sitting, that is under 108, before the dissolution of Lok Sabha, does not lapse. So people, both the houses were not able to agree. So the president said, let's sit together and do it. All right, it's most of the cases when the Rajya Sabha does not agree but the Lok Sabha wants to see it through. Then you have the joint sitting. So in that case, if it has been mentioned before the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, then it does not lapse. A bill which is pending in the Rajya Sabha but not passed by the Lok Sabha does not lapse. Why? Because Rajya Sabha is a continuous going body. It does not actually dissolve. The house never dissolves. A bill passed by both the houses but pending assent of the president does not lapse because it has been passed by the democratic system of the country. So there's no point actually passing the bill first and then it lapses once the president is supposed to give the assent. So it does not lapse. A bill passed by both the houses but returned by the president for reconsideration also, it does not lapse because for the second time when he sends for reconsideration, he has to actually sign it. So that ways, this bill does not lapse. Is that clear? Yes, yes, Rosie. So you must have attended it there. Okay. Are we clear here? Understood? Everybody? Or any doubts? Okay. Chal. Next question and your time starts now. This is a little tricky question. All right. So answer after just giving it a thought. And I hope nobody is using internet to answer me questions. Great. Okay, so who's answering me now? Guys, anybody or I lost everybody? No answers? Okay, then let me tell you. Okay, Naveen has finally bothered to answer me. Yes, it's actually A, one only. C of Japan? No, there are a lot of other bodies which actually separate Japan and China. So C of Japan only, it does not separate Japan and China. It is one of the C's that separate Japan and China. So the names all need to be here. Yellow Sea, yes, it separates China and Korean Peninsula. So let's see how. Okay, so my top three names are Naveen. Okay, and then I have Varun. I think Varun just guessed it, right? And Bala Pranita. Now, actually going by today's order, so both Naveen and Amit are in a tie. Both of you have appeared in the top three twice in these three questions. So there is a tie, but I will still give it to you, Naveen, because Amit, I think, came in late and Naveen got a majority of the questions correct. So congratulations, Naveen. You're the winner of today's quiz. Yes? Okay. All right. You know? Great, Varun. Okay. All right. Yes, Amit, I saw you. But Naveen, Varun and Bala, they the top three and the fast three. Okay, guys, let's have a look here. So this is the Korean Peninsula here. All right. So the Yellow Sea actually separates China with the Korean Peninsula. So this one is correct. You have the Sea of Japan, the Korea Strait, and the East China Sea, and God knows what, everything which separates Japan from China. So that's why the correct answer is A, and it is not both A and B. Is it okay? You're welcome, Navi. Hello, Kedar. You're late to the class. The class is almost over. Okay, guys. This is the Telegram group link for current affairs, and this is the Telegram channel link for current affairs. This is the channel link, and this is the group link. At both the places, I post my upcoming lectures, all right, either on YouTube or on Unacademy. So you can find all the details here. Join whichever group you wish to join. If you want to join the channel, join the channel. If you want to join the group, you join the group, but it will be easier for you to keep a track of my lectures. So the next lecture on the prelims test series is on 26th of July, 10 a.m. sharp. I will see you in the morning. And tonight I have another session, Indo-Pak Relations Part 2 on YouTube again at 8:30 p.m. All right. So any doubts or should we call it a day? Any doubts so far? Okay, Varun, you had a query, right, about the anti-dumping duty. Yes? Ganga, I will provide the link in the description. All right? Okay, Varun, are you still here? If you're still here, please let me know. Then I will explain the anti-dumping duty to you. Basically, anti-dumping duty is about, as I was telling you, for example, in India, the cost of production of cotton, say for one bale of cotton is, or say, forget cotton, let's take wheat. For to produce 1 kg of wheat, it costs the farmer rupees 200. Now, so it's costing us rupees 200 to produce wheat. Thank you, Suman. Bye bye. Okay, then Varun, just listen to me. I'm just explaining it right now. All right. So, for example, 1 kg of wheat cost us rupees 200 to produce. Now, in the international market, say we go to US and we want to increase our exports to US, we sell it for 100 rupees only. Now, what will happen? For example, if their farmers are taking 150 rupees to produce, it will become very uneconomical for them to fight with our imports or to fight with our exports, because we are exporting only for rupees 100. However, their own cost of produce is 150 and our own cost of produce is 200 rupees. So that way their domestic production is getting hampered. So they will impose an anti-dumping duty on India, say around 100 rupees more, and bring it to the actual cost of production, so that we do not dump our goods in US and the domestic industry is not compromised. You're welcome, Suman. You're welcome, Pratima. Varun, am I clear? Does this help? Okay, folks, I'll close the session for today. Thank you all for showing up at 10 a.m. in the morning. I know it's not a very good time. So I'll see. Maybe we could shift it to 11 a.m. so that your eyes are wide awake and we can have more correct answers. But brilliant performance, guys. All right. No, Varun. Now is it clear? Okay, great. Chalo. Good day, everybody. Hope you had a brilliant morning and hope you have a brilliant day following this. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.